this year in which we celebrate our 175th anniversary as a diocese, I'm particularly mindful of the contribution that's made by men and women in consecrated life throughout those years. It's hard to imagine that we've had religious sisters here for 174 years. And soon after that, we had brothers and other religious men. And now we have a flourishing of consecrated life in the form of consecrated virginity as well. It really is magnificent when we think about how the Lord has blessed our archdiocese through the lives of these consecrated men and women. When I think about our schools, when I think about our hospitals, when I think about the wonderful prayerful support that we receive from our cloistered Carmelites, when I think about the wonderful work that our consecrated men and women have undertaken in our parishes, I realize that we have so much to be grateful for. I really hope that consecrated life will continue to flourish in this archdiocese as we now begin this new chapter in our lives, and that indeed the Lord will continue to call more men and women to this important life.
Thanks, Archbishop. I'm Nicole Bettini, the delegate for Consecrated Life. For 174 of 175 years as an archdiocese, we have been blessed with the presence of religious. That is, religious sisters and brothers and religious order priests. After the Jesuits and the Recollect Franciscans, who were among early Catholic explorers in the region, history notes the first religious sisters to formally come to the area were the Sisters of St. Joseph of Carondelet in 1851. Other early religious sisters and brothers to the archdiocese include the Sisters of St. Benedict, the School Sisters of Notre Dame, and the Dominican Sisters of Sinsinawa, Christian Brothers, and Sisters of the Visitation. The blessing of religious and new communities to our archdiocese continues. Our newest religious community to the archdiocese is the Sisters of St. Francis Xavier, primarily serving our Catholic Karen community. Many are surprised to learn that today in our archdiocese, there are represented 35 religious communities of women, 21 religious communities of men, 2 secular institutes, and the Order of Virgins. The gift of the presence of our consecrated women and men is not always readily visible, but has impacted generations and transformed our church and our world.
I met Sister Rita Ann in 2nd grade. She was my 2nd grade teacher at St. Agnes, and in about 5th grade, my family moved into Como Park, and we moved parish and school then, all of us, to St. Andrews. And just before the school year began, my mother got a call from Sister Rita Ann telling us that she too had moved to St. Andrews, and she would be my sister Lauren's kindergarten teacher. And then 2 years later, she had my sister Kristen for kindergarten. So my family has known Sister Rita Ann since 1977. One of my favorite memories from Sister Rita Ann, and it's a favorite, I think, of every student who has had her over the years, is the songs that she used to sing in the classroom. That really it resonated with every child, and that's a long-lasting memory. In fact, I mentioned earlier that my sister and my mother and my sister's good friend from grade school, we see Sister Rita Ann once a year, and every year when we leave dinner together, we convince Sister Rita Ann, although it's not a heavy lift, to convince her to sing that song for us that we heard in the classroom. The undeniable factor with Sister Rita Ann specifically is that joyfulness, her exuberance for life, and just bringing so much joy to her faith-driven experience. When I reflected on talking about Sister Rita Ann, that was the one thing that stood out. It's undeniable. Anybody you ask, anybody who's met her will tell you that she just exuberates joy.
For 8 years, I was blessed to be in Stillwater, where I had the Dominican Sisters of St. Cecilia from Nashville, and they were such a blessing. They brought to the classroom a combination of reverence and joy. Being a priest who was blessed with a school from my first 18 years of my priesthood, I recognized the gift that being a spiritual father was. I really got life from that, being a spiritual father to those little ones. But what was often missing was a spiritual mother. And so those Dominican sisters, the kids just loved them. And they would be inspired not just to learn their prayers, but to really want to learn how to be holy and learn devotions. And there were so many times where maybe a family that had kind of fallen away, so a lukewarm Catholic family, or maybe even a Protestant family, and the child would go home and say, "Mom, why aren't we going to church?" Or "Why aren't we going to Mass?" Or "I want to make my first communion," and the kid's not even Catholic. And so what would sometimes happen is not only would the child come into the church, but he'd bring his whole family with him. So we'd have, I can remember Easter vigils, multiple Easter vigils where a whole family's coming in because of that one child. So grateful for them. I think this idea of being a spiritual mother for those children, but then for those children's parents, for the parishioners who maybe didn't have anything to do with the school, and for guys like me, they were spiritual sisters who inspired us to holiness as well.
The Retirement Fund for Religious has assisted religious communities, like the School Sisters of Notre Dame, to meet their retirement needs and support other communities, like the Dominican Sisters of St. Cecilia, or commonly known as the Nashville Dominicans, with their retirement planning. In 2024, 182 women's communities and 84 men's communities received from the Religious Retirement Fund. For the December 2024 collection, you, the faithful of the Archdiocese of St. Paul and Minneapolis, donated an impressive $474,939. On behalf of our religious sisters, our religious brothers, and our religious order priests, I thank you for your past donations and for donating to the 2025 Retirement Fund for Religious that begins December 13th and 14th. Donations may be given directly to your parish for them to forward to the Archdiocese. Thanks again for your support, and please continue to pray for our consecrated women and men. God bless you.